Welcome to Fitz Life Unfiltered with Jamie and Kim Fitzpatrick. Jamie and Kim will help you live abundantly, provide value and tips on achieving physical, mental, spiritual, and financial wealth while navigating this crazy thing we call life. Are you ready? Let's go.
That's when I'm in shape.
It's hard to see with the sun over.
I mean, okay.
Hello.
Hello.
We're just starting
Let's do it.
It's video, and I haven't seen you all week.
I haven't seen you for a week.
I know. Well, we saw each other, but
I know.
it's been
a busy week.
Yeah. Where were you?
I was in an immersion class for my neuro-linguistic programming certification. So I'm in, I think you know this, maybe you don't.
NLP.
No, but I'm doing my master prac in it.
Yes.
So this was a prerequisite to finish my master prac by November. So it was a bit intensive.
It was all 5 days.
It was amazing. I went in skeptical and
why?
Not annoyed that I was there, but just like because I'm studying for my ICF
I know.
exam.
Yeah, you've been a student, where that's not normally where you.
And I love being a student, but I felt constricted. Like I felt like, oh my gosh, is this competing? And then by Wednesday, the NLP modalities and techniques had me like totally relaxed and appreciating it, and it really helped me see just differently. It was very much subconscious level support, and it was really cool.
And it's part of your toolkit to offer your
and it's not for
people,
everybody.
your coaches.
It's certainly not for everybody.
So
but
just give like a really Reader's Digest first, because most people, I have to get you to explain it to me every time.
Totally. So NLP is very much like subconscious programming. It's your beliefs, it's your patterns, it's your habits. It's a lot of the work I already do. It's value-based, it's values, all those things. And it's really just figuring out, is this really a rooted belief? Is this a belief that you have? Or is who told you that? When did that all start? Like, it's just really questioning and challenging your subconscious in a really like quick way, which really helps. It really helps unravel things. And really, again, at the end of the day, the practitioner is not the hero. It is just giving really prompting awareness questions to help you really figure out and just unlock some really deep things.
Give an example.
I don't have an example.
Oh, you don't have an example. Okay.
Right now that I want to share, because it's like pretty raw, right now, and I don't really want to, and it's all confidential, so I can't really get into the example of like what some of the things we're breaking through, but I can give you a personal example of like, we broke through. Okay, let's give you
I was
going to
say, like, if you were coaching me, what is an example that you would ask me where I would like?
Yeah, so it doesn't go like that.
Oh, okay.
It's like, it's not.
See, I still understand.
It's so different. Okay, so here's an example. I'm going to give you an example.
Yes.
So we did this like parts integration. So for those of you that know NLP, you'll be like, oh yeah, this is such a cool exercise. So, you'll love this. Okay, I got one. So this is where I did a parts integration, where parts integration is where like two contrasting beliefs, you're like sitting with them in your hands. Okay. So I had to think about one, which we'll lead into, which is like, how I want to build a business, how I want to build my life, how I want to live, like peace, joy, amazingness. It was my right hand. So my right hand was that, okay? Like really powerful. And then I had to give them names. So I would kind of want you to guess these names. And then in my left hand, these parts. You had to name the parts so you could like really start to think about what the parts are.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Some people are going to be like, she's fucking crazy. Anyway, so it's fine. I'm rolling with this. But in the left hand, it was like hustle, manufactured energy. It was like tired, fatigue, overworked.
Right.
Like I just felt like these two very compete in the world of entrepreneurship. It's like very much roller coaster type of living, and I felt these two competing priorities that I actually tried to like keep in these separate entities. I tried to compartmentalize that. The whole intention behind parts integration is, how do these work together in harmony, and is there good in them? So my right was Carol. The name was Carol, which represents my mama, but also for me represents like...
Yeah, you know what I'm thinking. Let's not go there.
But it was like light and ease and joy and flow and harmony. And yes, you can do, everything is available for you.
Right.
What do you think I named?
Not going to go there.
Ursula.
Oh.
I named it, and I thought of a Little Mermaid. And all I could think about was this big octopus with all these tentacles and this like... And she's like... And
well, that's a good analogy.
Poor unfortunate souls,
God,
and like
singing.
takes the voice of the Little Mermaid, who's amazing, right? And it was like, oh, it's like take, like hustle, sacrifice. And then so I'm sitting there, my eyes closed, and I had to somehow start to work to bring the parts together. And is there a way that they complement each other? Is there a way that...
Because they're both kind of necessary. Or not necessary, but like they're part of it.
Right. And so while I was restricting, as I was contracting, as I was like, ugh, I don't want that feeling, then I started to feel more peace about being like, wait, there's a season of hustle.
Yeah.
Like even right now, I can like feel that calmness. So there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
It's not going to love everything you do.
No.
You're not going to love it. You're not always going to show up as your best human. There's going to be the Ursulas or the Carols. Like, how do you blend them together? And that is parts integration as an example. And it really served me. And instead of it feeling resistance, it started to feel connecting.
It's because it's like that. The thing about the word hustle always gets this negative connotation. But actually, Kyle, you and I have talked about this too, where it's like, if you enjoy it, like you and I enjoy working. I think you enjoy it maybe a little more than I do. I can chill more than you can, but like, I know because Kyle, you enjoy working. That's you. Chill. Yeah, but you enjoy.
That's why we get along so well.
But you enjoy the process of creation, clearly, of creating things.
Yeah.
And so I bet you hustle while you do it, but that's not a bad thing because you enjoy that. It's not and it's also not like you're not doing the other duties in your life, children, whatever, taking care of the people you love. You can still take care of those things and love the hustle in your work. It's just when it becomes negative and bad for your health and stuff like that. So I think and even for you, I don't necessarily think the hustle is bad. It's just like you have to enjoy the process of entrepreneurship. You do. You have to go ahead. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. I think two things. So number one, there's intentionality behind it. And number two, I always go back to this question is this in alignment with the woman I'm becoming? Is this in alignment with the values that I have? Is this in alignment for where we want our family to be? And if I can go back and those map and those track, then it's worth it to me because it's an outcome and everything takes work and effort and everything has a cost. So slacking or procrastinating or just not pursuing your dream has a cost.
Yeah.
Pursuing your dream and teaching your kids. And you know what? It was so awesome. I was driving with Tess. She goes, oh, Mommy. She goes, I want to be a stay-at-home mom just like you.
She does?
No, let me clarify what she meant by that.
Yeah.
Firstly, I almost started to cry. Like I could cry right now because I never saw myself in a role. We are certainly very present as parents. I would say that for sure. Our kids are not our business. We are our own business.
Yeah.
They do not fit into our lives. We certainly construct our life around them. And I'm proud of that. I'm really proud of that.
Yeah.
So for Tess to be like, I love that you're home and you're available and but yet I'm in the throes of like also working and building out and scaling and like about to launch something really neat in terms of what we're building. I can't wait to tell you about that. Okay. I'm just going to put that away over here, put it in the pocket. But for her to say that, I was like, and she said, I mean, I'm going to be this successful realtor and do all these things, but she wants to also be a present mom. And that there was power in that you can do both.
Yeah.
That was cool.
She told me she wants to be a lawyer.
Really? I think she'd be a good lawyer.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She gets everything.
Yeah, that's true. She does.
Gets everything.
She's a good negotiator.
She negotiates me down.
Yeah, the hamster.
Like, everything. The hamster. Was she 7 or 6? The loft. Everything.
Yeah. Was she 7 when she got the hamster?
She put photos in, like, we need to.
No, she created a PowerPoint presentation when she was 8.
And then she printed, on white pieces of paper 35 copies, put it in the fridge, put it on my bathroom, put it on the toilet lid. When you open the toilet, I'm getting a hamster.
7, 8 years old, yeah.
So we got her a hamster.
Yeah.
Coconut,
3 days.
Coconut, and then bitter.
It bitter and we gave it away after 3 days.
No, not after 3 days. It was at least a month.
You're lying. You are.
At least a month.
It was not a month. We found a very good home for it.
No.
Why? It was
a month.
Okay.
For sure.
It was a month, guys. Sure.
It was a month.
Yeah. It was maybe tops 2 weeks. Why are we arguing about this? And what does it matter? What is it?
It doesn't.
Okay.
No, she has a gecko.
Yeah, she has a gecko. And we've had the gecko for a long time.
It's yours.
It's mine. I take care of it.
Ellie.
Ellie, I
And
fed
I
her
get
this
her
morning.
worms.
I fed her 3 worms this morning.
good.
Yeah, this is the stuff people come here for.
Okay,
let's dive in. Let's go into this.
Let's get into this. So we want to talk about, are you living your legacy, or are you just posting about it? Are you just talking about it? Are you just claiming it? And that's important to us. And I think this actually even dovetails really well into like the first part of the conversation with the parts integration is like, what are you really living? You know, and I have some notes, but it's like, you know, couple thing is like, maybe this is a question we can kind of like pull to each other and talk about this, and one for you as well. Those that are listening or watching is like what it really means to live your legacy in your business, your body, and your relationships. And when you've caught yourself out of alignment, and what did you do to come back home? Which would you like to tackle first?
It's up to you. You go for it.
No, I'm asking you, Jamie. He always does this every time. What do you think? I asked you a question.
Well, we both come with topics. This one is kind of yours.
So I'm asking you a question.
Okay, ask me again. What's the question? What's the question?
Stop balling it back.
I am balling it back. What's the question?
Jamie.
What? Gonna break?
No, I don't want to break.
Okay.
I'm laughing that it's good for people to see this because it's something that you do a lot. Is you're like, what do you think about that? I'm like, I asked you what you think about it. Okay. Jamie.
Give me a specific question.
I did.
Okay.
I just gave you 2.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Go. Come on. Let's go.
Okay. Jamie, what does it really mean
Yes.
to live? What does it really mean to live in your legacy, in your business, in your body, and in your relationships?
Oh my gosh. Well, that's a long answer.
It is. I'm so excited to hear you.
Very quick question. I don't know. I don't know if I think about what I do in terms of legacy. I think you think about that more than I do. I don't know if that's good or bad or right or wrong. I'm not saying that. I don't compartmentalize. That's the word of like thinking about what I do in our business as legacy necessarily.
What's in your body and in your relationships?
Well, we already talked about that in the last episode.
We did. So, but that all is encompassing, right? Like when I think about legacy, I think about like your life's work.
Yes.
And your impact and your voice and what people will remember you for.
Yes.
That's what I'm more talking about versus like.
Yeah.
Leaving a legacy, like
I need to work on that more. I don't know if does everyone think like that?
It's a great question.
I just asked it to you.
Clearly, then you know.
I don't think so. No, and I clearly.
Okay, so let's.
I think hold on a sec. I think in our world that we live in, Kim, like even on social media, people we follow, like entrepreneurs and growth day people, Ed Milet and Brendan,
Yeah.
That's talked about a lot. I'm always even shocked when I ask people, do you know who Brendan Bouchard is? I'm actually shocked people don't know who he is.
I know.
I'm always
thought that the other day.
I was like, you don't know who he is? And like, okay, how come you don't know that?
Right.
And maybe because we're just so used to him being.
Well, we live in the personal growth world.
Yeah, I guess.
Would say.
Yeah, and he comes up a lot, I guess, in your feed and stuff, and my feed, and it's like.
Well, not just Brendan. I mean, there's so many people.
Yeah.
Like
Brene Brown, all of them.
We've always practiced growth.
Sure.
And I think that there's a difference there. So let's reframe the question. So I think it's powerful that you're like, I'm working on that.
Yeah.
You're in real process of that. And I just want to admire that.
I'm in a massive transition phase of my life.
I'm proud of you.
Why'd you smile when I said that?
Because I'm proud of you.
Oh, yeah.
Makes me want to cry. Oh.
Don't cry.
I'm just proud of you. I think it takes courage and bravery and vulnerability to say that. And I think those that are listening, like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, hi, I've been transforming for our whole relationship.
Who? You? Oh, well, everyone is.
Every day I'm like, I'm going to work on that, or I'm learning, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's a constant thing for everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Especially
Are we ever done?
As adults. I don't know.
I think you can have periods of pause where you're just also just sitting and relishing in the work you have done, and doesn't always need to be constant improvement.
But does transition come from unhappiness?
It's a good question. Has your transition come from unhappiness?
I'm a fairly happy guy.
Yeah, I think so too. You're so positive. It's so annoying sometimes.
Really?
No,
You've never really told me that I'm so positive.
You're so positive.
Oh, good.
This whole week, I felt like I was complaining in the first 3 days of the week.
No, I didn't say that.
And you're like,
I never thought that once.
It wasn't complaining. I was more just like in my head with trying to process a really full schedule. And I was having a hard time with that,
Yeah.
where there was a lot of, like if you look at what capacity wise and where I'm at now in my life now, I'm really excited that I feel like it's almost too much and I'm wanting to scale back because I want to be able to do things really well. And I feel like when there's a lot on the docket, I still feel like I do things really, really well because there's such a standard of excellence in how I deliver. But I always think about this analogy of like, there's plastic balls and there's glass balls. And when your schedule's so full, often what I find is those glass balls that are like, and you've heard me share this analogy before of like juggling those glass balls, and the glass balls are like your family and your life and your relationships and the things that you really value, legacy work, right? Plastic balls, right? Could be like, I always think about those plastic IKEA plates we used to have for our kids. And I just feel like sometimes like you're spinning these plastic plates, these plastic IKEA plates so much you can't see the Royal Dalton underneath. And there's something in that where when your schedule is so full or you feel that out of alignment, like one of our questions, right? It's like when you've caught yourself out of alignment, what did you do to come back home? Sometimes they're circumstantial out of alignment. Like I couldn't budge my schedule.
No.
But what I could do is I could budge myself. And when I would message you being like, I'm just tired or whatever that was, which was my truth. And it's okay to feel those ways. And I did say, I'm like, I really miss you. Like, it's been a lot. Like I've been away on my retreat and like, then it's been a lot. And that's all beautiful. But what I learned from it is that I don't want my schedule to look like that. And I have the power to change that. Just like that, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So that was my point. But in those moments where I was messaging you, being honest, truthful, vulnerable, and a human, you were like, well, you have a great day. And I giggled because you weren't being,
It sound so inconsiderate. Have a great day. I
don't think you had time.
I said that once.
I don't think you had time for my complaining.
Honestly, I think sometimes when you call, you think I'm just sitting there like waiting or something, and I don't have shit to do. It's like I'm just supposed to be available. And I'm like,
sweating.
hey, I got to go do some stuff.
I'm sweating. This is the realest you're going to see in our marriage.
That's the lights.
But it's true. And then it's like, then I had to like kind of validate. By the way, I'm not complaining. I just really miss you. And
whenever you have to say I'm not complaining. Yeah.
Anyway, I just feel like that.
You crave routine. You crave routine. Oh. You love being home. This is the dichotomy of you, really in a nutshell, is that you love going on the retreats, you love being busy and saying yes to a lot of things. And we've had this conversation before, and I'm lovingly saying this, giving you shit. We have this conversation about you saying yes to everything.
I'm changing.
Yeah, we are changing, right? Hence the transition talk, included me. But like, you have to ease off, because while you crave connection with people and the idea of going and doing 50 things right away sounds awesome to you, and that's why you say yes to them, on the back end, you crave being home, and then you get troubled by it, and you're like, why am I so busy? Well, you're busy because of you.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this is
that's really smart for our listeners, right? Like, let's put this in the lens of anyone that's listening or watching, is just letting them say, like, are you finding yourself overscheduling? And what I'll share with you is, like, I'm no longer living in a trauma response.
Right.
Now, that being said, my behaviors need to catch up to this new identity. And there's power in that.
That's a great way to put it.
And there's power in that. So for anyone that's listening that might feel like, that's right, it feels out of that alignment for me. It's not that I'm doing anything wrong.
No.
It's that, oh, wow, okay, cool. Because we've got a huge project we're working on right now. Mm-hmm. I know that the back half of this year is not full.
Right.
I've created space for that.
Yeah. And that's new for you.
It feels great.
Yeah.
It's no longer new for me. It's now my standard. Because in order to, and Kyle and I have talked about this at length, it's like, in order to achieve the next level and expansion of the things we're doing, there needs space to that. You need to have space. So for anyone that's maybe listening or watching, if that light bulb went off in your head, is audit your schedule. Leela Hermosi says this all the time. She said the most successful CEOs she knows edit, and I've said this before on our podcast, they ruthlessly edit their calendar. ruthlessly. And it always has to come back to, even Ed Milet said that in one of the Monday Motivations on Growth Day. He said, his wife does a lot of the booking of their like entertainment and hanging out with friends and all those things. And Ed said, if it is not in alignment with values or who they are, they cancel those things.
Right.
Because this isn't worth the investment and the time of like efforting through that. If it does not hit the values and their standards, and we have our own too, then it doesn't happen.
Everyone should have them, right?
And those are just things to put into place. So if you caught yourself out of alignment, some things that you can do to come back home is audit your schedule. We have some really honest, open conversations about, oh my goodness, we need more time together, or
but I'd say
we're in a season with really super busy kids.
Yeah, I'd say in the last
Ubers.
In the last year, you and I have completely changed how we operate in terms of we've actually done that with our schedule. We've been canceling things because
Left, right,
it's
and
like
center.
that doesn't align with what we want out of life, business. Like even this weekend, I'm not going because we had made a family decision. I just needed to be here.
Yeah, it's Tessie's grad and
other things too, right?
Yeah.
And it's just I could have gone in really quick and back, but it's just there's other things I need to attend to that are more important.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have done that 5 years ago. I don't know. Like the grad we would have, but like we would have tried to sneak everything in to do all the things. It's
but
like
then and then what's the cost at that?
Yeah,
and
totally.
that's the thing. It's like, what's the cost? And I think that's really where it says when you're catching yourself out of alignment. And I think that's when we go back to the question of like, what does it really mean to live your legacy in your business, your body, and your relationships? Let's add your schedule, right? Like, are you making decisions that are in alignment with the life you want to lead, and not the life you have? Not the life you have, the life you want, the life you desire.
Yeah.
Because everything you do is either keeping you stuck in a current cycle or moving you closer to the life that you're desiring. And I think we're working really hard on that. Okay, ready? I love this one. It's how burnout, perfectionism, or ego can show up disguised as service. Right. And like there's an example of like that perfectionism or people pleasing, or the rebel mindset is, and I love this, the whole idea of like the campaign lifestyle, right? Where you're like constantly campaigning to the next thing. I remember a great girlfriend of mine, Nadia, I know she'll be watching this. She sent me this account that it was like 10 ways your business is disguised as trauma responses. I think I sent it to you and I was like, oh my God, I like crawled under the table. And one of them was offers or overscheduling or overpromising. And those are just things, again, not to pull the T word in, the capital T word, but it's like, those are good things. And the reason we're sharing this is for those that are watching and those that are listening is to take a pause and ask yourself, where am I at? Am I constantly always going? Am I constantly filling my schedule? Am I constantly always in this next thing? Or am I taking a moment to ask yourself, how's it feeling? Does this feel right? Does this seem right? Does this like, let me get in my body and feel this?
I heard a good analogy. I think it'll make sense. I can't remember who did it, or else I would give them credit. But it was like, and I resonate with this. A tugboat and a lighthouse do the same thing. They both take care of boats. The difference is that the tugboat goes out, has to haul the ship in. It gets beat up with the weather. You replace parts. It's very hard on the tugboat. Eventually, they throw it in the scrapyard, and you've been taking care of the boat, but you're so much wear and tear on it, they got to throw it out, and then you're done. A lighthouse is just steady and stands there. Lights on. It's just there, and it sits, and it's sturdy, and it's there forever. I think the analogy is like you can do things one of two ways. You can do the same thing. You take care of the boat, but you just have to choose which way you want to do it, right? And the lighthouse does it with ease and joy, and the light just stays on as an example of, don't hit the rocks or whatever. Well, the tugboat's I just thought it was a neat analogy, right?
Powerful.
Yeah, two things can do the same job, but they do them drastically different. So,
wow.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great question is like, are you becoming the lighthouse or are you the tugboat?
Yeah.
I love that. I think one of the things, just in follow-up to what you just said about the tugboat and the lighthouse analogy, is I really believe that there's a powerful way to blend both of them together as well.
We need both of them.
Right. And one of the things I love about the tugboat, when you were mentioning the tugboat, I was like, well, think about the action of what a tugboat does. It like attaches to a vessel. And I kind of is like that coach or that mentor or that guide or, like subliminally more like that you need more of that support. Whereas
it's a higher, they're obviously more involved in the action. I put a negative spin on it, but my point was kind of like you need them both, but they do very similar jobs, but they do them very differently. But go ahead, sorry.
Which I like, and I think I don't think it's a negative spin at all. And because I also think too, when you think about the tugboat or the lighthouse, and we said, what are you or what resonates with you? The lighthouse like stands firm. It's like I'm not coming to you. It's almost like Mel Robbins who says no one's coming to save you. It's kind of along that same thing, but I'm here and I'm shining my light for you.
Right.
And I'm anchored.
Yes.
And, we need both. And I think there's power in that analogy of like, at what point do you need both, whether it be the tugboat or whether it be the lighthouse, and knowing that lighthouse is standing tall, it's shining the light. It's knowing that you are the one that when you come back home to yourself, the answers are within you. You just have to decide whether or not you need to be towed or whether or not you're going to be shining.
Right.
And at what point do you need those things?
Right. That makes sense. I think you need both at times, probably, right? And we kind of do both. My original analogy was kind of like, the ship needs both of them, or else you're going to crash into the rocks without either of them. It's just very different ways to do it. And I think probably true mastery is knowing when you need both. Maybe one, you need one sometimes, you need the other sometimes, you need both sometimes. And I think that's probably where that analogy, you really need to figure out where you're at in your transition. Because that's what we're talking about. And I know we talked about in the last episode too, but it's like, I think everyone's in transition. And I think that having the self-awareness to know where you're at is really important, because I think if you're more aware, I always think I have a lot of self-awareness. You and I have talked about this. And I think just ending with that analogy, it's like, I think it's really important knowing which one you need in the moment, and neither's right or wrong. I think it's just like, that lighthouse is sturdy, it's strong, it's shining its light. It's that example for people. And I think you kind of need both. I don't know if that makes sense, but
it does. Yeah. I love that. I think at the end of the day, it's like the greatest leaders that take radical responsibility of their own self know the discernment of when and what they need.
Yeah.
And I think that really ties into what we were talking about living that legacy and showing up with that legacy. And, what do you need right now when you're in these periods of transitions, or when you're in trying to figure out what does my body need? What does my relationships need? What is my purpose? Like, am I in alignment with all of that? And I think that's the greatest lesson for all of us, is to try to figure that out every single day.
I always say, like, and I think I probably coach, this way, or with our teams. I don't want to use the term hand-holding, because I don't know if that's a negative thing, because I think that's also, you need to do that sometimes with people.
Sure.
But like, if I think about my legacy, because you asked me before and I was like, if I think it is, I think
so aware of you.
Well, I think that, I think a good legacy would be that lighthouse, and be that person who's like just stands on their morals, integrity, and like you're the example. You're shining your light, because you don't have to say and do a lot. I think that kind of describes me in a way. I don't really have to say it, but I just have to be a good example for people.
I love that.
I think that's probably everybody, but I know for me, I think that would be a good legacy.
I love that so much. Yeah. Beautiful. All right. It's like, that's a wrap.
Why did when we were closing, when we were just doing the audio version, why did that feel so much easier than video? We're just staring at each other. Are we finishing? What's happening? Are we finishing?
We should have like a high five.
No, because of my T-Rex arms. We do this every day.
Oh yeah, let's try. Let's just try.
Look how short my arms are. I swear, if I had regular size arms, I would have been a really, really good basketball player. I was decent enough with short little T-Rex arms.
Oh, I love it. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Let us know what resonated. Let us know whether or not it was the tugboat, the lighthouse, or both. And we are going to put these questions in the show notes so that you can reach back and you can ask yourself some of those questions about your own legacy work. And are you living a life that feels in integrity and in alignment for you? And what are some ways that you can come back home when you feel out of alignment? So we want to know.
Thanks all.